Hey everybody, this is Kathleen Haynes with MarketScale. I am the VP of Operations here, and just like it sounds, I basically kind of help things operate from beginning to end when it comes to pre-production and post-production for all the content that we're generating for you guys. So one of the things that obviously has a pretty extensive pre and production and post-production process will be our video shoots. So today we're going to go through basically what's included in each of those productions from beginning to end, so you have an idea of what to expect for the day, how to plan for it the best you can, and obviously what comes after when you get to see the real content and the actual deliverables through Studio. So to start off, again, we're just going to go from beginning to end. So we'll naturally start with the pre-production process. When it comes to the pre-production process, your account manager is going to be guiding you through this whole process. MarketScale does a very good job of really basically making it where you can have as much control of the production as you want, or if you just want us to take and roll with it, your job at the end of the day is going to be just please show up at the time we talked about, and we'll take it from there. So what is included in your production? A production is going to consist of one day, 8 hours to be specific, and you'll have about an hour lunch for our team to just take a quick break. It's going to be in a major metro area or within 100 miles of a major metro. So if you have anything outside of that, there may be just some additional fees for basically travel for the videographers, but for the most part, everything's usually just included within the day. We don't see that very often, to be totally honest. It is global. You can shoot anywhere you'd like within the world. So we've been to Brazil quite a bit, Abu Dhabi, and lots of places in Europe, and we've even done a couple in Africa as well. So if you guys have a facility or a client in a particular country that you'd really like to go film, definitely reach out to us, let us know. Obviously, when they're international, we want to plan ahead a little bit better. So your shoots also are usually planned about 4 weeks in advance. We can definitely accommodate anything less than that. Just let us know. We just try to aim for 4 weeks to ensure we can provide you guys the best quality, obviously during the production and the post-production. So whenever you can do your pre-production as best you can with enough time, that's going to ensure the rest of the process goes very smoothly. There's a lot of things you guys can add on. This mostly includes equipment, from what I've noticed, or additional days. So your standard shoot's also going to come with 2 videographers that have like standard audio for something like an interview, standard lighting to make sure they're looking good on camera, and the cameras themselves. So if you guys would like to add anything like a teleprompter or maybe drone, that is definitely something that's doable. You just have to let us know, again, ahead of time to make sure our videographers are prepared. But outside of that, we basically will plan all the equipment, videographers, and plan the whole day's schedule for you. Outside of that, if you guys would like to add additional days, except outside of the 1 8-hour day, you are welcome to do that as well. This is very common for things like trade shows that maybe have events on certain days after or within the show dates, or maybe you just have a lot of interviews you want to knock out, and we'll make sure that the schedule obviously allows for us to do the best we can with the people we've got, and we can accommodate any extras that we need to. So those are a couple of common add-ons that you guys can do with your production. So as I mentioned, we'll want to make sure to stick to 4 weeks out. We can always make sure to do anything in a quick turn. Just make sure your account manager knows exactly what you're needing and when you need it, and they'll work with my team on getting that planned out as best we can for you. So again, we can make sure that this is a smooth process. What they will do within the pre-production process that is frankly very imperative to making sure the production and the post-production process goes off very well. Pre-production might be the most important part of the shoot, if that makes any sense. The production breakdown is going to be a PDF document that your videographers, your editors, and obviously as the client, you will all receive. So this includes point of contacts for the day, the address, really any logistics that you might need to know. It'll include a breakdown of each of the deliverables that you will also get from that shoot. Within one shoot, you guys get 3 to 4 video deliverables, and these are typically about 1.5 minute videos from the production itself. So we'll give a breakdown. It basically gives the story structure of that specific deliverable for our editors to know exactly what they're going to be filming. They will break down who's going to be interviewed and the questions that they will be asked. And then you will also get a full schedule of the day. So that kind of guides me into the actual production itself. A very common question we get is, how do you structure your day of production when it comes to the schedule? So our recommendation is always to bulk your interviews together, typically in the morning when everyone's kind of fresh entering the day. So we usually will have about 3 to 4 interviews. I would say they take about 45 minutes to an hour each. That's what we plan for ahead of time. If you have folks that are very comfortable being in front of the camera, that's great. We can usually minimize that to about 30 minutes, but to ensure their audio is all set up, the lighting looks good for each interview, we do want to make sure to set enough time for them to get asked each question. So we'll bulk the interviews together, and then the B-roll usually is in the second half of the day. Again, we know we're filming, C-suite executives or just people that might be very, very busy. So if you guys do have somebody that needs to do an interview kind of separate, or they're going to be really scattered throughout the day, again, just let us know and we will easily accommodate the schedule around that. Our shoots typically are for about 8 to 5, but we are happy to start beforehand, especially when you're filming somewhere like a trade show or even a manufacturing plant where you kind of want to get there a little early before it's crazy busy. You can kind of see the bit of a setup and there's not too many bodies moving around until you're ready to get that specific footage. We're happy to accommodate hours however you guys need to as well. When it comes to the MarketScale communications on the day of the shoot, we do take these shoots very seriously and make sure your videographers are well prepared. So we give them a call before the shoot starts to make sure they're on their way, dressed appropriately and ready to go and have all the equipment they need. And then we will FaceTime them while they are on the shoot as well to ensure that their staging, their setup for the interview, if that's what they're filming at that moment, is ready to go. So we will always do a check-in for you on behalf of your client or your account manager to make sure your videographers are all set. We also take some fun photos to make sure we can share that out with our community members, and the rest of us here at MarketScale just know what's going on, where we're filming for the day, because it's always really fun to see. When it comes to locations, another common question I get is, how many locations can we film at while we're doing a production? I would say in my experience, the best number to shoot for is 1, but 2 is doable. One thing to consider is within that 8 hours, if somebody's going to be going from one location to another, you usually want that to be about a 20-minute drive. They've got to put up the equipment, make sure they're filming, getting everything they need to shoot in that first spot. Then they need to break it down, travel, and set it all back up. So sometimes setup for something like an interview can take up to 45 minutes to make sure lighting and audio is ready to go. So we can shoot in as many locations as our schedule will allow, and your account manager and really anyone on the MarketScale production team can help make sure we're maximizing the day as best we can to give you guys the best experience possible, which is always a great experience. So when considering locations, just consider what we're wanting to film and the setup and breakdown time for the day. Once your production's done, this is kind of where the fun part starts. On our end, our videographers are going to get us that footage and we will put that into MarketScale Studio. So when they're putting this into MarketScale Studio, you guys actually have the ability to check in on some of the B-roll and footage captured. So you can give some suggestions if there's anything in particular you want to provide to your account manager or the editor when it comes to the edit. They'll be very, very thorough on the day of the production, and they definitely make sure to, even if it's not on a shot list, they'll capture anything they can to make sure we have a lot to work with. Once it's in studio, our team will actually do what we call a pre-edit. This pre-edit is going to basically organize the footage of the day. So they'll label the interviews, they'll label the B-roll. It makes sure that your edit's turned around quickly and efficiently. So again, that you guys have that ready to go, especially if it's a quick turn video that you're wanting within, a day or two. Again, you'll get the B-roll within Studio, so just make sure to take a look at everything in there and you can see the great stuff that they put together. It might also inspire some fun ideas for additional sound bites. So as I mentioned, you do get 3 to 4 deliverables from your shoot, which usually are about a minute and a half in length. But you guys can also submit as many videos as you want through Studio if you upload the footage. So feel free to cut down that B-roll and send in a Studio request outside of even your Onsite to just get a Studio soundbite done. Those are unlimited within your campaign as well, so you're happy to do as many as you'd like. When sending in a Studio request, the DMS or your account manager will actually take care of that for you. So if there's anything outside of what was done in pre-production, like those 3 to 4 deliverables, they'll take care of it. And basically you just get to wait and see the amazing results once it's submitted through your platform. But again, if there's anything extra that you guys would like to add, you are more than welcome to submit as many sound bites as you'd like. So definitely take advantage of it. It's some great opportunities for you guys to do some social videos, or maybe if you were able to capture the CEO for a fun keynote and it's just like a really quick snippet. Those are some great things that sometimes just happen the day of because you got the opportunity and you took advantage. So we want to make sure those get edited and turned around for you guys as quickly as possible. I'll take a moment to just ask for any particular questions that anybody has, and then I'll dive into a couple just common questions that I usually get in general. Cool. So some of the common, frequently asked questions that I've gotten quite a bit that I wanted to make sure to address. Who asks the interview questions at a production? This is totally up to you. All our videographers are very thoroughly trained and will actually ask the interview questions for you, unless you would prefer to do it yourself. So definitely do not feel obligated, but if you would prefer to ask questions, you're more than happy to. How many interview questions do you aim to ask? The average, I would say, within that 45 minutes to an hour is like 4 to 5. They'll ask them a couple times, get a couple different responses, and especially if a question kind of allows for a response to maybe it's a little vague and you want to dive in a little deeper, it gives you that extra time to get those specific details. So we definitely will make sure to give them the time they need to give a couple responses, especially if somebody's a little nervous on camera. We can give them the time they need. 4 to 5 questions is kind of your sweet spot. This is adaptable, as everything usually is. If you guys have somebody super comfortable on camera, or you just plan to interview them for quite a bit, you can obviously increase the questions however you guys seem necessary. I would say the average is just 4 to 5. How far out should you plan a production? We touched on this earlier in the conversation, but 4 weeks is, again, kind of our sweet spot for shooting a production. It gives the team the time to prepare your videographers. You can prepare your teams. The account managers can prepare the breakdown and just make sure all the details are finalized. It's definitely doable to do it in a lesser time if you guys need anything urgent. That's just a good time frame we've noticed based on, we do about 50 shoots a month. So that's just been a good experience for us on what is basically going to provide the best quality and shoot as we will on the day of the production. And as we also discussed, again, this is just a common question I get on multiple occasions within one day of production. You guys can definitely do that. It's feasible. Just consider what it takes to set up and break down for each shoot and make sure you build that into the production date. Depending on how many interviews you want, how many deliverables we're doing, and how many locations, it may turn out that an extra day or an extra half day might best suit your production in particular, and your account manager is going to definitely make sure to reach out to you and let you know if that's the case. Otherwise, we can accommodate if you want to stick it in one day. We can make sure that basically we capture as much as we possibly can based on your goals and the results you want to see from your production. Outside of that, that is really everything it takes to go through a day and a month of production for you guys. Again, MarketScale will handle everything from A to Z if you guys need it, but they're happy to step in however you guys need to, or you guys can also take as much control as you'd like throughout the shoot to make sure it's exactly what you're looking for. If you guys ever do have any questions, definitely reach out to your account manager. You're more than welcome to email me as well. I'm happy to help in any way I can, but I hope this was really helpful. Thank you guys for jumping on. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to see you guys on our next shoot.